Have you ever imagined a world where we could bring back animals that disappeared from our planet a long time ago? This idea isn't just science fiction anymore. Scientists are exploring ways to bring extinct animals back to life through a process called de-extinction. The fascination with de-extinction isn't new. It dates back to when humans first realized that species could disappear forever. Over the years, we've lost countless animals, from the dodo bird to the saber-toothed tiger. Now, with modern technology, scientists believe they might be able to reverse extinction for some species. But why are they so interested in this? Bringing back extinct animals could help restore ecosystems that have been damaged by their loss. For instance, some animals played crucial roles in their environments, such as dispersing seeds, controlling prey populations, or maintaining the structure of their habitats. De-extinction could also advance our understanding of genetics and evolution, providing insights into how species adapt to changes and how genetic diversity impacts survival. However, there are many questions and challenges to consider. Ethical concerns arise about whether it's right to bring back species that have naturally phased out. There are also technical challenges, as reconstructing an entire genome from fragmented DNA is incredibly difficult. Despite these hurdles, the potential benefits keep scientists pushing forward. Let's dive into the fascinating stories of some of the animals that might walk the earth again thanks to de-extinction efforts. The woolly mammoth. Imagine a creature from the Ice Age, covered in thick fur, with massive tusks curving out from its face. That's the woolly mammoth, an animal that roamed the earth thousands of years ago. The woolly mammoth was about the size of a modern African elephant, but was adapted to live in cold environments. These giants roamed the frozen tundras of Europe, Asia, and North America, grazing on grasses and shrubs. They disappeared around 4,000 years ago, likely due to a combination of climate change and human hunting. Today, scientists are working hard to bring the woolly mammoth back to life. They plan to use DNA from preserved mammoth remains and combine it with the DNA of the mammoth's closest living relative, the Asian elephant. This process involves complex techniques like CRISPR, a powerful tool for editing genes. Researchers extract the DNA from well-preserved mammoth specimens found in Siberian permafrost and identify the genes responsible for the mammoth's cold-adapted traits. They then insert these genes into the genome of an Asian elephant, creating a hybrid embryo that could develop into a mammoth-like creature. This process is incredibly challenging, but researchers are optimistic. If successful, reintroducing woolly mammoths could help restore Arctic grasslands, which are important for combating climate change by storing carbon in the soil. The presence of these large herbivores could also help slow the thawing of permafrost by trampling down snow and promoting the growth of cold-tolerant grasses. It's like a puzzle, and each piece of DNA they fit together brings them one step closer to seeing a woolly mammoth walk the earth again. The passenger pigeon. Next, let's talk about a bird that once filled the skies of North America, the passenger pigeon. These birds traveled in flocks so large they could darken the sky for hours, with numbers reaching into the billions. The passenger pigeon was incredibly social, relying on its large flocks for protection and finding food. Sadly, they were driven to extinction in the early 20th century due to massive hunting and habitat destruction. The last known passenger pigeon, named Martha, died in 1914 at the Cincinnati Zoo. Efforts are underway to bring the passenger pigeon back. Scientists are using DNA from preserved specimens to try to recreate the bird. The process involves extracting DNA from museum specimens and sequencing the passenger pigeon genome. They then compare this genome to that of the band-tailed pigeon, a close relative, to identify the key differences. Using gene editing technologies, researchers can modify the DNA of band-tailed pigeon cells to match the passenger pigeon, creating a viable embryo that could develop into a living bird. If successful, reintroducing passenger pigeons could help restore forests that depend on the ecological roles these birds played, such as seed dispersal and promoting forest regeneration. Passenger pigeons were known to feed on a variety of nuts and seeds, helping to spread these plants over wide areas. It's like bringing back an important piece of a jigsaw puzzle that helps complete the picture of healthy, balanced ecosystems. However, Scientists must also consider the challenges of reintroducing a species that has been absent for over a century, including finding suitable habitats and ensuring the new population can thrive. The Tasmanian tiger, thylacine. The Tasmanian tiger, or thylacine, was a carnivorous marsupial native to Tasmania, Australia, and New Guinea. With its striped back and dog-like appearance, it was a unique animal that resembled both a tiger and a wolf. Thylacines were top predators in their ecosystems, feeding on small to medium-sized animals. Unfortunately, hunting, disease, and habitat destruction led to their extinction in the 1930s. The last known thylacine died in a zoo in 1936, marking the end of an era. Scientists are now exploring ways to bring the thylacine back using advanced genetic technologies. They are studying the DNA of preserved thylacine specimens to understand its genetic makeup. This involves sequencing the thylacine genome and comparing it to that of its closest living relatives, such as the numbat and the Tasmanian devil. By identifying the genetic differences, researchers hope to use gene editing tools like CRISPR to create thylacine-like embryos from the cells of these related species. If they succeed, reintroducing the thylacine could help balance the ecosystems where they once lived by controlling prey populations and reducing invasive species. The presence of a top predator like the thylacine can have cascading effects on the ecosystem, promoting biodiversity and stability. It's an exciting and complex challenge, but the possibility of seeing a thylacine in the wild again inspires many scientists. However, there are significant hurdles, including the need for a suitable habitat and ensuring the new population can survive and reproduce in the wild. The Pyrenean ibex. The Pyrenean ibex, a type of wild goat, lived in the mountainous regions of Spain and France. This agile animal was well adapted to its rocky habitat, with strong legs and a robust body. Sadly, the last Pyrenean ibex, named Celia, died in 2000, marking its extinction. The primary causes of its decline were hunting, disease, and habitat loss. However, in 2003, scientists managed to bring one back to life using cloning techniques. This involved taking DNA from preserved skin samples of the last Pyrenean ibex and inserting it into the egg cells of domestic goats. This brief resurrection of the Pyrenean ibex was a groundbreaking achievement, showing that de-extinction is possible, even if it's incredibly challenging. The cloned ibex died shortly after birth due to lung defects, highlighting the difficulties and risks involved in cloning. Scientists learned valuable lessons from this attempt, such as the importance of genetic diversity and the need for further research to improve cloning techniques. Despite the setbacks, researchers are optimistic about the future. They are working on refining their methods and understanding the genetic factors that influence the survival and health of cloned animals. The goal is to one day have a stable population of Pyrenean ibexes in the wild, helping to restore the mountainous ecosystems where they once thrived. This would involve not only perfecting cloning techniques, but also ensuring that the reintroduced animals have the necessary habitat and support to survive. Ethical considerations and risks. Bringing back extinct animals sounds like an incredible idea, but it's important to think about the ethical questions and risks involved. First, there's the question of whether it's right to bring back animals that nature has already phased out. Some argue that we should focus on conserving the species currently at risk instead. Resources and efforts might be better spent protecting the biodiversity we still have, rather than attempting to revive what has already been lost. There are also significant risks to consider. Introducing an extinct species into today's environment could disrupt existing ecosystems and harm the species that currently live there. The reintroduced animals might become invasive, outcompeting native species for resources and altering habitats. Additionally, the animals brought back might face difficulties adapting to modern environments, leading to potential suffering. They could struggle with diseases, lack of suitable food sources, and changes in climate that their ancestors never experienced. It's a delicate balance, and scientists must carefully weigh the benefits and risks before proceeding with de-extinction projects. They need to ensure that any reintroduction efforts are well planned and consider the long-term impacts on both the animals and the ecosystems they will inhabit. Public opinion and ethical considerations play a significant role in these decisions, as the potential consequences extend beyond the scientific community. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Fact Fusion, and click the bell icon to stay updated on our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.